Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another Black Series video review. Today we have the Gaming Greats number 20, Darth Malak from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I remember, like it was yesterday, playing through Knights of the Old Republic for you guys here on Rebelscum.com. I don't know if the episodes have been uploaded to our YouTube channel quite yet or not, but if they aren't, they probably will be very, very soon. And, you know, if you had told me a little while back that Hasbro was going to do Darth Malak and Bastila, I would have been like, no way, you're out of your mind, because it's been so long since Knights of the Old Republic, and a lot of in and out rumors and hearsay about what is or isn't going on with the potential Knights of the Old Republic remaster or totally new reboot game, whatever it's supposed to be, because we keep hearing all kinds of stuff coming out of the back door of whatever's going on with that game. And the general consensus is it's a mess. And hopefully we hear some solid news about it soon, because I would love an update to Knights of the Old Republic at some point in the future. I mean, when I say that, I know a lot of other fans share this as well, is the story doesn't need an update. It's just the graphics really need an update. Secondary to that would be the gameplay of the game. The combat especially could use a decent little update. But that's not as big of a deal as getting a modern, updated look to the game. That's all I wanted, and hopefully we get some word on that soon. But for now, Hasbro is doing more figures. They also very recently announced the upcoming VC Revan. They finally gave us a proper new Revan. They heard the fan backlash when they first announced it, pulled it, and did a totally new figure on an all-new Knights of the Old Republic card back. Can't wait for that figure to come out. I mean, I don't typically collect a lot of VC or 3/3 scale in general, but I'll definitely be picking up at least one to open and one to keep carded for that figure there. But today we are talking about Black Series 6-inch and how awesome the new Malak is, and he looks great. So there is an image of the figure there on the front of the box. There's that Black Series side panel artwork there on the side of the box. On the back, we've got some words and things and another image of the figure, and that's pretty much it for the packaging. I cannot believe how well they absolutely nailed this figure. He is, dare I say, near perfect. I mean, he could use a few more paint details here and there, maybe just a little bit of darker reds to just kind of break up the suit a little bit, but they got the most important detail on this figure where it matters. He's got his tattoos on top of his head. He's got his scars on the sides of his head and around the jaw. And yes, the prosthetic jaw is removable. It pegs in on the back of his head. Now, the centerpiece on the back of the head of this figure is not removable. It is part of the overall figure, but look at that face sculpt. That face sculpt, I gotta say, is perfect. Hasbro, you absolutely nailed this figure release. And his cape is #cloth goods. You know how much I care about the cloth goods. Basically every aspect of this figure, in my opinion, is practically a 10 or 9 out of 10. I love it. I also love that not only did we get his signature lightsaber and we got a better detailed look at it, the way it stores on him is he has a holster on the back of his belt just for his lightsaber. So his lightsaber just slots in there on the back, which is a pretty cool and good look for him, because we don't ever really see it hanging from his belt in any of the cinematics or gameplay. He just kind of, like every other character, just pulls it out of nowhere and ignites it when you go to fight him the few times you do. So I like that they came up with a pretty cool and creative way to store it. The detail on his chest panel look really good. The textures on his arms and collar and everywhere else. And he's also surprisingly taller than I expect him to be. I never quite realized how tall this character was until I got the Black Series figure in hand. Now, before we do comparisons, he is fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders with those inner socket butterfly joints. Not very far wiggling on the butterfly joints, but you get some more extra shoulder wiggle out of it. Single jointed elbows, wrist joints, upper torso, lower waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, and ankle joints. And look how big those boots are on this figure. His boots are absolutely ginormous. That was also something that kind of caught me off guard with this figure. Real quick for comparison, here he is next to his master, Darth Revan. And yes, he is a little bit taller in the game, but it doesn't really quite hit you until you have these two figures standing side by side together, and you just see how much taller Darth Malak is next to Darth Revan, which, fun fact, Darth Revan was the first Knights of the Old Republic character released in the Black Series 6-inch line. So it's finally nice to have completed this pair of master and apprentice together. Also for comparison, here is Malak next to Darth Vader. And as you can see, Vader is just barely taller than Malak in his full suit. Vader's tall. He's very tall. So that just kind of puts it into perspective how large Darth Malak just is organically on his own, because his only cyborg bits are on his head. Vader's cyborg bits are everywhere, and part of why he's so large, because yeah, Anakin was rather tall, but he got a few more inches when he became Vader. So you can see those side by side. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's review featuring the Black Series Gaming Greats Darth Malak from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This figure is incredibly well done, and I also have a lot of nice things to say about the Bastila figure that we will also be reviewing very, very soon. Hopefully we get more KOTOR characters, because now we're up to like 5 or 6. We've got Revan, Jedi Knight Revan, both of which are canon versions both to the game, which is technically Legends, and the concept of the characters, which are still technically canon. Revan and Malak are still canon, as is Bastila and a lot of the other characters from Knights of the Old Republic. However, the events as they play out in the Knights of the Old Republic video game and some of the concepts in them are no longer canon. So the game and the books as a whole are not exactly canon, but a lot of the characters and things from those games and books are still canon, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, we have Revan and Jedi Knight Revan, because he does still canonically get the amnesia and go back to the light side. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you, but this game's like 20 years old. So go either watch some gameplay footage that we did here on Rebelscum.com, or treat yourself and play it for yourself. It's on every major system of the current and previous generation. So that's PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, or even the Xbox Series S, which is the digital version. It's also on Nintendo Switch. So if you'd like to try it out, treat yourself. It is a fantastic story and a really awesome game. You get to see some really cool parts of the galaxy that in some cases we haven't really seen since, or at least not very much. So hopefully we see those make a return too. So anyway, back to the character count. Revan, Jedi Knight Revan. We also have Darth Nihilus from Knights of the Old Republic 2, and Zalbar. So we're up to 6 figures, with Malak and Bastila recently being added. But which character do you hope see get a re-release next in the Black Series 6-inch line? To complete the Ebonhawk crew, we still need Karth Onasi, T3M4, HK47, Mission Vow, Julie, Juhani, and the Mandalorian mercenary Canderous. Oh, I wanted Canderous so bad. Canderous, HK47 were my 2 absolute most favorite companions in that game, because one is a really awesome Mandalorian warrior, and the other one is one of the coolest droids ever conceived in Star Wars, built by Darth Revan himself. So hopefully we get the rest of the Ebon Hawk crew at some point in the Black Series 6-inch scale. I have a feeling Hasbro is going to keep doing these because these characters have been very popular and have been doing well, and a lot of collectors really love Knights of the Old Republic. So stay tuned for more as more KOTOR figures and characters get announced for both Black Series and the Vintage Collection. We will let you know. So make sure you're checking Rebelscum.com every single day to keep updated and toy news on everything Star Wars. And like and subscribe and follow us on social media for awesome reviews like this one right here. Make sure you mark these characters off in your collectorsoracle.com profile. And if you're not on collectorsoracle.com, well, it's free. So sign up today and start managing your collection like a pro. For non-Star Wars content, check out our other website, cooltoyreview.com. There's all kinds of awesome toy news, videos, and more there. So like and subscribe to cooltoyreview.com, and like and subscribe to our other channel, Bay 12 Toys. There's all kinds of awesome non-Star Wars content, toy reviews, and more on Bay 12. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel scum.